Welcome to Walking Purpose. This is season two, y'all. Season two. A special thanks for everybody for tuning in to season one. It's been amazing. I'm here with a special guest. For many of y'all who tuned in last year, it was episode 10. I'm here with Leon Horton. He explained his story last year and it was super powerful. This is a great man. Actually, this is one of my friends, so I'm honored to have him as my brother, honored to have him as my friend. I'm definitely honored to have him as my guest again. So Leon, feel free to introduce yourself to the audience again.
All right, as we say in Detroit, what up, though? My name is Leon Horton. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. Love my city, love D-Town. Wish our sports teams were better, but hey, you get what you get.
Right.
I met Craig last year, just out of this common, social media. Then all of a sudden, he told me about his platform, and I told him about my story. Then I was able to tell my story on his platform, and which it helped my platform called Man, You Got This, and which you can find on a Facebook group, which is a private group for men. Also, Man, You Got This on Instagram, which you find out there. And also, I'm still in the works of doing a general podcast called Man, You Got This. I'm not up to Craig's level yet, but I'm going to get there. But Man, You Got This has changed my life. Just a recap of how I started, Man, You Got This. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time or who's been a regular on Walking on Purpose, I started Man, You Got This after I had a personal collapse of myself. I want to say that I am a suicide survivor. I was going through a bad part of my life in which I decided to really, at that time, give up. Man, I totally, collapsed. I can say, I died and I was reborn. Started Man, You Got This. I started Man, You Got This. I want to say 2-3 months out of rehab. Just to go ahead and just get my voice across to help those men, that who are suffering and can't really express themselves. As I said, my dream for Man, You Got This is to grow in social media, but also to grow in a social organization platform in which in one day, I can get a home entitled at my father's house, in which, young men can come. They can get mentored on mental health, but also get mentored, on life. We have men and young men that's out here that don't even know how to tie a tie, that don't know how to do a resume, or even just how to cope in life. So I want a platform available for them where they come in, no matter what race, no matter what creed, whatever. I just want you to come in, get mentored, get developed, and just, express yourself. We as men, we've been told, that we need to hide our emotions. We have to hide our emotions. And that's what causes the mental collapse in us, because we're holding all this frustration and anger inside of us. We're yelling at our spouses, we're yelling at our kids. We're taking our frustration out, on our jobs. And it's taken out in which, we're burning inside. So throughout the period, when I was going through my rehab and my recovery, in which this episode is called Recovery, one thing I learned about when I tried to kill, when I attempted suicide, I wasn't killing me. I was killing the person that I became. And I thought, killing that person would end things. I tell you what, I was brought back here for a purpose and for a reason. And if you listen to episode 10, where I told my story, this wasn't the first time I did it. There were 2 other times, when I did it and I wasn't successful, thank God. But not saying the third time's a charm, but this right here really opened my eyes. Mind you, I'm not proud of what I did, because I'm going to and I'm going to admit this right now, I do suffer from, PTSD, moments. No, there are certain things that happened that drove up to it and which would click inside my mind, like certain smells, music, or any type of phrase that sometimes that would get me triggered. Not triggered to go on a deep end, but triggered to think about that particular situation. But from 2020, from last year to now, I can say I made some extremely great, progress. Even through this pandemic that we're going through, and even through going through this social atmosphere, that's happening inside this country and this world. I made it through, and I'm encouraging everyone else. You can make it through as well too.
Awesome, and that's a great segue to my first question. We connected last year, 2020, and my question is, like, what's your current mindset of 2021? I feel like you definitely jumped in leaps and bounds and just physically and mentally just making that transformation and speaking out more, saying I'm just super proud of you. What's your current mindset right now of 2021?
Well, 2021, of course, I still want to grow. Man, you got this. For the first quarter, I have not recorded anything on my platforms. I've been active on the platforms as far as posting inspirational things, posting other individuals' platforms, just so men can know that there's things that are out there. But also, I've been using this time as recovery and reflection. I'll tell you this, last year was an interesting year for me as far as like rebuilding, what I lost. I lost a home. I had to rebuild that to get myself back on point. There was some some things that happened on my job in which I had to rebuild. So throughout the suicide process, I had to rebuild.
Yeah.
I had to rebuild and restructure because I lost a lot. There were some times in which after the process, I had friends and family, all around me, supported me and was there. Then all of a sudden, that kind of just faded away and trickled away. So during 2020, a lot of people were facing things on their own, being left alone. So one of the things, I faced in 2020 was loneliness, trying to do things with my spare time. As I mentioned in my podcast, not my podcast, but my shows, and the old analogy, idle mind is a devil's playground. And so I tried not to be idle. So I've been using this time in 2021 to refocus on some things. So I have some outside business interests, that I'm pursuing and trying to, launch and bring up. Also, I learned a new talent that I have that I never knew that I had, which now I learn how to gourmet cook.
Okay. So, as I see. Yeah.
So I have a page on IG called The Bearded Cook. Mm-hmm. And, each day, I'm doing something totally different. I grasped a pescatarian lifestyle in which I'm only doing just fish, fruits, and vegetables. But each day, I'm in the kitchen like Dr. Dre, just mixing up and making something.
Nice.
And then it comes out just like perfect. And I never realized, that I had that.
Mm-hmm.
So 2021 is like a year new as far as like rebuilding and rebranding. I'm not focusing on this pandemic. Hey, I'm doing my precautions, washing my hands, sanitizing. I got my vaccine. I'm doing it up. But also too, I'm using this top opportunity to build relationships and to bring men on board. I learned too that when you see a man down, we always constantly, keep him down. My thing is right now, you see a brother down, pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick him up and say, how you doing? And really, really, mean it. Mm-hmm. Don't just pick him up and say, hey, you good, you're good. It's more than saying you good. It's an action, that you good.
Agree. It's definitely an action. It's definitely saying, "Hey, bro, I'm checking on you, see how you're doing. Okay, I'm fine." It's more of taking that extra step to check on your brother. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely relate to that. As far as you finding your outlet during that process, I'm super proud of you. You know what I'm saying? So that reminds me when I was going through depression and my outlet was the gym and martial arts. So let's go to my next question. Offhand, it's like, what do you do in those moments where we how first you're around a lot of people, and then you go home by yourself, or you have that moment to yourself by yourself, and you had those thoughts. You know how like you always try to come back into your mind, your old demons. What do you do to bounce those off? How do you? What's your strategies behind that?
Well, I use that as a platform to create. Like I said, I get inside the kitchen. I'm a music fan. I mean, I'm a music fan. Man,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know when the last time I watched TV. I
Uh-huh.
come in, I just throw a playlist on. Okay, so today my mood is Marvin Gaye. Today, my mood is Taylor Pendergrass. So I have my own versus battle, going on.
Oh, that's
Today
cool.
I'm playing, Ozzy Brothers, versus Earth, Wind, Fire, Prince versus Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
So I get in, I start playing music, then get inside the kitchen and then start cooking up some stuff. So when I get those particular inklings, that's happening, I get up and I started refocusing and I start, creating. And that's my mindset for 2021. Not only recovery, but also creation.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was brought back, I was back here for a purpose and for a reason. And right now, I'm learning new talents and new things that I'm doing. It's funny, even though I haven't been posting things on my sites, there's men still all over, messaging me and letting me know, hey, you know what, this is good. You
Yeah.
helped me out. I
Yeah.
mean, then one time I was walking on the riverfront, just getting some exercise in, and out the blue, this guy came up and he was like, "Man, you got this." And I
Oh,
looked at him and I'm like, "Huh?" Say, "You're the man for Man, You Got This." I'm like,
that's
well,
cool.
damn, I really,
Yeah.
there's somebody out there, is watching this. So when we
Yeah.
sat back, he kicked it and, he saw his wife, "Hey, baby, come here." Like, this the guy I was telling you about, "Man, you got this." He helped me, open up, talk to you, things like
Wow.
that. So just listening to that was like, well, damn, I got across to somebody, which
Yeah.
is cool.
That's awesome. I'm not surprised, brother. For real. And that's how it is. Like you like if I can reach one person, and it feels so good to tell your story or share your platform, then when someone says, "Hey, because you telling your story, that's helped me out." You know what I'm saying? That's helping the next kid out. That's helping the next brother out, man. That's amazing, brother. Proud of you, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Um, I remember we we last talked about Thanksgiving, like being like a new birthday for you, pretty much starting over. Like this is my new birthday. I'm just changing over. How did it feel this past Thanksgiving, like last
You
year?
know what? This past Thanksgiving last year was interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, because 2019, the week of Thanksgiving, a couple of days before Thanksgiving, was when I attempted suicide, and I was back to life, brought back to life. Thanksgiving 2020 was was a re I want to say a reopening for me. I say, you know what? I'm going to treat this as a new birthday. I wasn't able, due to COVID, I wasn't able to sit around, family. My family is much more, of course, older than me, but I could not, sit around with them, carve the turkey and all that stuff. So I actually spent, Thanksgiving alone. But I was able, call my daughter, talk with her, talk to my family. But I actually, spent it alone. Most people were like, "Oh, it's so sad," but it felt good. The
Okay.
reason why it felt good to me was because I was alive, and so looking at that year, from that time from 2019 to Thanksgiving to 2020, that gave me the opportunity to be really, really thankful. Thankful for everything that I've grown up to throughout that year and that progress. The blessings, that was installed to me, the support that I was given. So each year around Thanksgiving, it's going to be special for me because it's going to be a thankful, day that this is the time that, the Lord has really, spared me.
Awesome. Love that. Do you ever, like in your process of healing yourself, in the process of just celebrating being alive, you ever create a morning routine for yourself when you get up in the morning?
Yes, I do. So I get up in the morning time, and usually I get up maybe like 3 hours before I even have to be at work. I don't know why I do that, but I get up 3 hours before I have to be at work. And I get up and I'll start reflecting about my day before and start doing gratitude statements, but also to I am affirmations, and also to meditating. I'll get into the word, I'll pull a scripture, read a scripture, read it out loud, then read it in silent, and just meditate on it, focus and meditate on it. But also I just use that quiet time just to be quiet and hear my heart, not hear my mind, but to hear my heart.
Yeah.
Once again, saying, I am thankful again, but also to knowing, that love that's there in me, that, I'm going to express this to another man. And I always said this, loving on another man is not gay. Loving on another man is like, you know what, brother, I'm going to support you. Yeah. Because you know what, that may be the only time, that man hears it. Yeah. You have countless men who do the I'm going to call it the victory lap. When they go home, they sit inside the driveway or they park down the street from the house, contemplating and thinking, well, damn, should I go home today? What do I expect? Should I go home? Should I go, to the bar? Should I go to the strip joint? Or should I, go over the secretary at work's house, just so I won't have to think about, when I'm facing at home, because no one, understands me. So what I'm saying is that when you see your brother, just tell your brother out of the blue, you know what, man, I love you, man. And anything, that you're going through, I'm going through. So this week, this past week, I had a best friend of mine, going through something heavy. And he was there with me when I was in the hospital. Yeah. Every day he was there with me, visiting me, making sure I was okay, bringing me any type of magazine for me to read to make sure I was doing good. So now he's going through something. I say, you know what, brother, I'm returning the favor. And, we brothers until we ashes. And so each day, I send him a text. Hey, brother, man, I'm thinking about you, man. I love you. You good. You got this. You know my number. You know where I'm at. Hit me up. And, he responded right back. And we said to each other, you know what? I love you, man. I love you too. So, no. So like I said, tell another brother, you love him. It's not gay, because sometimes, we need that. Yeah. We need to know that, there's someone there that's like, you know what? I love you, man.
Yeah. Man, oh man, that is, that is powerful. I got my friend who's actually going through like a really messy divorce, right? He's really going through it, and we talk every single day, and that's a lot for him to go through. And I told him, look, brother, I need to see your face every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I love you, man. I love you too. And that moment for the person that's receiving that message saying, I love you, like, he needs that. I'm like, damn, somebody love me today. That feels good. Right. I think it's too much of a negative stigma about why he say you love you. Why you say, hey, man, just checking on you. How you doing? You know how sometimes me and you do sometimes. Hey, I ain't wondering. Just check and see how you doing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
Damn, somebody thought about me today. Like, that feels good. Even in the midst of working hard and building your platform and working your 9 to 5 and the family, all this. And when someone says, hey, brother, I care about you. Hey, brother, I want to see you succeed. Like I told my homeboy, I say, brother, I need to see your face every single day. I got to make sure you good. Like, I don't care if you call me like 2 o'clock in the morning, I answer. It just because I remember when I was going through those rough patches of like depression and suicide, and instead of having a man say he judged me for what I'm expressing, saying I hear you, I got your back, and that's a powerful statement that message need to get out for us men. You know, it needs.
Yes, it is.
Man, that could be an hour-long conversation just right there alone.
Yeah, it is. It is, and you don't know what each man is going through. And you know, we walk around. We talked about this in the past. So we walk around, you know, with these masks and these superhero capes. You know, think, we the ish. Yeah. But then, you know, when we come home, you take the cape off. Yep. Craig, man, I guarantee you, every day there's a man sitting on the edge of his bed with his hand in his face, you know, crying, thinking about, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do, you know, today, you know, and there's no one there who's willing to give him the support to listen to him. Right. And that's the thing, you know, we need to be listened to.
Agreed. We definitely need to be listened to, because there's some man right now going through it right now feeling like I give up. And you having those, and once you say that out your mouth, we both know because we both been through that, unfortunately, you know. So once you have that feeling, you're thinking that you're all alone. You're thinking that no one understands what I go through. No one, like, so us men, we walk around sometimes. I can see a man walking around just this mean mug, and you think it's that, oh, he's mugging me. No, the dude has the word on his shoulders.
Yes.
He's probably trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I gonna do about rent? Oh my God, my relationship. Oh my God, my kids. Oh my God, I feel like giving up. So he just like wearing this. And that was me. Like, it was hard for me to smile. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all the time, you're carrying so much weight to the point where your heart is like super heavy, and that's a lot of pressure. So the moment when someone says anything to you, you're ready to snap. And it's kind of like someone just shaking up a soda over and over again, over and over again, over and over again.
Exactly.
Oh, somebody's, what you say? Bam, there it is. You know? Man, it's just, this right here is just, it's powerful, because a lot of men need to hear this, you know?
They do.
A lot of men need to understand, like, you're not alone. A lot of men need to understand that it's okay to have feelings. That's
exactly.
Man.
But here's the thing too, Craig. Man to man, it's okay that we tell each other, you know, that we have to have feelings. But I'm not trying to make a sexist remark. And please forgive me, you know, for the listeners out there, you know, that they're female. Women, you got to understand, you know, we have feelings too. And we have to, you know, express ourselves. You know, sometimes, so if you ask us if we're okay, and you know that we're not okay, just talk and just listen. Don't judge. Just talk and listen. And that's what we're asking for. That's what we're looking for.
Oh man, that part is super powerful for you. You let the man express himself, right? I'm gonna give you like 2 examples of situations where I went through that. Like when I was going through my depression and everything like that, I'm talking to my ex. It's like doing video chat, and I'm crying, everything. I was trying to express myself. I'm like, hey, can you be there for me? So instead of getting that emotions where I'm getting support, she starts to laugh. So that right there will make a man shut down. Like, you know what? That will make a man probably cheat. Probably, you know what? Everybody's the same. Everybody just like her. So now that adds on to that meme of we talked about a few seconds ago.
Correct.
Adds on to that pressure. So now what we care about is going to work and making money. We also care about the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Once you get that, you're like, damn, I can't even express myself, you know? So my second example is when I first met my fiance, I had 2 deaths in my family, right? And she FaceTimed me on the phone one day, and this is after my aunt passed away, and I'm like, just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I can't cry in front of her. You know what I'm saying? Because of what happened before previously with someone else, right? So instead of that happening, she goes, it's okay. Let it out.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a man need to hear that. It's okay. Express yourself. Or it's okay. Come here. I got you. I'd rather you do that and let everything out than do something stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. That's a huge topic, and that right there can save so many lives of just
Exactly.
allowing men to just express themselves, man. So my next question is, so right now you got your platform, which is truly amazing. Man, you got this. Where do you see it going in a few years or a few months? Or
Hopefully, like I said, and again, in a few years, I'd like to see it go to a full-fledged ministry home. Like I said, I just want a home where there's a scripture in the Bible. In my father's house or my father's mansion, there's many rooms. So I visualize a house that has many rooms where there's guys, there men that's there, that's volunteering, helping out, young men or men in general. There's a room, which is a closet, where a guy, young man can come in and get a suit for a job interview. There's a room with computers where there's someone there that can help him, do a resume or help him find a job. There's a library where a guy can come in, read books. There's a kitchen where he can come in, fix himself something to eat, or someone fixing something to eat, or even I have a volunteer who's a cook that can show him, a trade. I'm looking at just doing things to teach men, that there's other things that's out there, but also to let them know that there is mental support out there. Yeah. One thing that men don't talk about, we don't talk about, mental health. We can talk about basketball stats. We could talk about, the latest RPMs, that's an engine in the car. We can talk about, that, I'm sorry, I'm just being funny about this, about the big boy, the girl that's down the street. But when you talk to your brother, like, man, what's going on in your head, man? We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we need to do. And that's what I want. I want a place where a guy can come in 24/7, where he can come down and sit. Look, man, I just had an argument, with my child's mother, and I don't know, what to do. I just, got, bad news, that my mother or my father is dying of cancer. I couldn't cry in front of them because I didn't want to show them I was weak. Yeah. Right now, I'm breaking down. So I want that to have that platform together, for him to know that, man, you got this, we there, for you. So to answer your question, Craig, that's what I'm looking at for the next years, because there's many people, that saved me, and I just want to do what they say is pay it forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. There are so many young men who are lost at an early age, and they feel like it's hopeless. So imagine they're going to what you're doing right now, and it's like, oh man, they show me how to tie a necktie, they show me how to cope, they show me how to express my feelings, they show me how to put a suit on, how to trade for a job interview. Or the young man comes in, oh man, they show me how to express myself when I'm going through with my kids, or with my fiance, my wife, or whatever. Man, this is amazing. I can't wait to see that, because I can see that that's going to change so many lives.
You're going to be there, man.
Yeah.
You will be there. So,
yeah. Oh, definitely. A grand opening, definitely. Anything you need with that, I'm definitely down to help, man. That is amazing. I got a question off the top of my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I said I got a friend who's actually going through like a rough patch relationship and everything like that. He's probably listening to this podcast as it comes out. And what advice do you give a man who I guess he's going through a relationship and it's not going the way he wanted to go, but in the result of that relationship, it's kind of making the person feel like and depressed and everything like that, like a downward spiral.
So the advice that I'll have for that man or any man, stop for a second. Look at yourself. Look at the inner you. I saw something that that Will Smith had posted. A lot of people, talk bad about Will Smith, concerning the situation between his wife and the guy and things like that. Yeah. But Will Smith, was hurting in that interview, in that video. But he made a quote that stuck with me. Her happiness is not your responsibility.
Yeah.
So the thing is, her happiness is not your responsibility. It's her responsibility to be happy for herself. Is that you just have to be there at that moment. Your responsibility is to be happy, for you. Build up, your mental strength. So one thing I want to say to that brother is, first of all and foremost, that the infamous C word or the T word, that we run from, counseling and therapy. Get some help from yourself, first. But also too, be open and transparent. If you really, love this person, you have to be open and transparent. And I hate to say this, but you're going to have to rip that Band-Aid off and go for, hey, you know what? This is how I'm feeling. When you do, is how I feel.
Yeah.
I need your support. I need you with this.
Yeah.
It's been, interesting for me as far as, going, through my my divorce and my relationship. That is hard. It was hard. Mm-hmm. But you live and you learn. Yeah. You learn a lot. But also, this right here is opportunity, for him to learn himself.
Yeah.
Learn himself, but also to know the fact, and I'm going back to Will Smith's statement, her happiness is not your responsibility. And sometimes we put that on ourselves, like my downfall. And hopefully, this ties into this particular caption here. But we as men, we go out, we work. Hey, you know what? I'm providing for my family. My family got to do this. I got to do this for my family. And we constantly feeding our family. But guess what? You're not feeding yourself.
Wow.
You have to feed yourself.
Wow.
Before you feed your family.
Wow.
Because that sounds selfish, but you have to have that strength first.
Yeah.
In order for you to fight the world to feed your family. So in that relationship, feed yourself first before you feed her.
Powerful.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I feel like that definitely falls into like the self-love category also. I think a lot of times, I did this too in my 20s. You meet somebody and you put your all into them. And when it doesn't work out, you're left like, damn, who am I? You're left feeling lost. So I learned is to have that self-love journey because it never stops. Having that, I got to take care of myself. And she got to take care of herself. I definitely agree with that Will Smith quote. Because you gotta love yourself. And I think that's where he's at. He's like, you know what? I need to find myself. And one thing I was telling him, like, find things that bring you joy. Just know yourself. And it's okay to start over. I start over. I want to know myself. I'm going to take myself out. Like, get flag. I'm going to get a nice haircut. And, like, just know yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so when the next person comes around, like, it's all right. It's like a nice party, right? Nice party, music going. So nice party, she's come adding to it. Like, yeah, add to this journey. So I appreciate you sharing that point.
And you said it right at a point. Date. I told some people, date yourself. And I said, that's stupid. No, it's not stupid.
Oh,
No,
not at
you
all.
know, go to the barbershop, get
Yeah.
that fresh trim, that lineup, go to Men's Warehouse, get that suit,
Yeah.
get sized that perfectly, and it's just go out on town, yourself. Make your own, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean, that you're lonely. It's showing that, you know what, damn it, I love myself. If someone's not gonna love me, I'm gonna love me.
Yeah. Yes, good point. You know what's funny? Because before we met, I went through like a really, really hard breakup. And I was in the car like in tears. Like I said, the next person I talk to gonna be amazing. But until then, I'm gonna build myself up. I'm gonna take myself to the movies. I took myself bowling. I took myself out to eat. Who you ordered for? Oh, dinner for one. Yeah. I took myself to the gym. I'm gonna get a nice haircut every 2 weeks. I'm gonna buy some clothes. And you know what? I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna pray more. And it's like not just the physical part, but the spiritual part too. And look what happened.
Yeah.
It's like it can work. It really can work. Man, just take care of yourself first and always putting yourself first. Always having that self-love journey. Even when you're in a relationship, you still gotta do that. That way you don't feel lost and you don't feel like abandoned when it doesn't work out. I'm not saying
Right.
it's perfect, but you can still do that. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. This definitely has been an amazing, great interview. I'm super proud of you, bro.
Man, I'm proud of you too, man. Man, Craig, you just don't know how much you helped me. And just looking at the guys, that you've been interviewing, and I take tidbits of their advice and look at it, man, and know that you know what, you got the feeling, you're not alone. You're not alone. And it's interesting, where you see these guys, you look at them, and you think, oh, he got his shit together. But then when you start hearing, stories, and you think, okay, I thought my story was messed up.
Yeah. That, you know what? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you think, well, they don't go through what we go through because they look different. They don't look like us. I'm like, oh my gosh. Their stuff is worse than mine. Or you know what I'm saying? So, and the whole thing of, I do agree with that, thinking like we're alone, or it's just the US, or it's just a Black thing. No, this mental health thing is worldwide.
There is.
This mental health thing has no prejudice. It don't care how Black you are, how white you are, straight, gay, divorced, single, nothing like that. It attacks everybody, men, women, child, everybody's feeling this.
It does.
This is worldwide. That's definitely one thing that I've learned just from doing this platform for a year and everything. Like, wow, this is worldwide. So, and it's cool that we're part of that change, of getting ourselves out there and telling our stories. And,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people need to hear that, and also, see it too, that, hey, you know what, there's a man out there, that's just like me. Yeah. Or wow, this has been inspirational, that, it really changed my life. The things, that we're doing, there could be one guy that's probably listening to this for the very first time. And he may be sitting there, with a 44, ready to pull it, or he ready to make that plunge. Then all of a sudden he hears this, and he say, you know what? Damn it, I'm going to love myself.
Yeah.
And I got this.
Yeah.
I'm working on purpose.
Yes. Just like you say, man, you got this. Once you get that moment, like, you know what? I'm going to take charge. I'm going to take charge of my journey. I'm going to take charge of my self-help journey, my self-love journey. I remember doing that in the mirror, like literally just crying. You're handsome and don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over and over again. Like, it's funny because this morning I was on the treadmill. I was just like, I was sweating and I was crying at the same time, because I remember what it felt like April of 2010, where I felt like I wanted to give up. So what keeps me going is just always remembering what it did feel like when I didn't feel love. where it didn't feel like I didn't feel handsome, I didn't feel intelligent, you know. So have those moments. I already know what that feels like. Keeps me going, like to help that next man out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, to pass it on. It's a race. You run this together, yo.
Yeah.
Run this together.
But we got this, man. We work on a purpose, and we got this.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that. That is great. That's good for caption, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go, feel free to tell the audience any closing advice you want to give them.
You know what? The closing advice, as we're talking through this platform, you know what? Just love yourself and know that you're being loved on. Wake up in the morning time, look in the mirror, and tell the mirror, you know what, I love you. You know, even though you're the only person that's telling that to yourself, tell yourself, you know what, I love you. Like we're saying, depression, anxiety, stress, suicide, it has no color or race barrier, no particular national barrier. It's there. And it's kind of hard is that when we keep that little ounce of frustration inside of us, it continues to grow like a cancer cell, in which it just attacks you all over. Even, the littlest little trauma. It could be a trauma when you were a little kid playing on the playground and a neighborhood bully, took the ball from you and pushed you down. That right there lasts, a lifetime.
Yeah.
And my final note is never shy away from counseling or therapy. If you don't want to do that, surround yourself with a core group of men that's going to support you and live out that scripture, iron sharpens iron. So that's all I have to say, Greg.
Awesome. A great takeaway from this interview. Learn to love yourself. Invest in yourself. Your self-love journey never stops, guys. Get up in the morning every single day. Tell yourself, I love you. I love you. Don't just say it low. Say it with pride. I love you. Tell yourself I'm handsome. Tell yourself I'm smart. I'm a go-getter. Or go after my dreams every single day. You wake up in the morning and thank God for another day because somebody didn't make it and you did. Continue to be blessed. Continue to walk with your head up high. You are a king no matter what. No one tells you. No matter if whatever happens, you still a king no matter what. Hold your head up high, guys. Thank you so much for this episode.